If your ears are ringing right now, I want you to stop for a moment and really pay attention to this. Because what you are experiencing is something that millions of people deal with every single day, but very few truly understand. And the reason most people struggle with tinnitus for years is not because there is no solution. It is because they are focusing on the wrong cause. Most people think tinnitus is just an ear problem. They believe something is wrong with their ears, and that is why they hear ringing, buzzing, or noise. But that is only part of the story. The truth is much more complex, and once you understand it, everything starts to make more sense. Tinnitus is not just about your ears. It is about how your brain processes sound. Let me explain this in a simple way. Your ears collect sound from the environment and send signals to your brain. Your brain then interprets those signals and creates what you hear. Now, when your hearing system is affected, whether from loud noise, aging stress, or other factors, your brain starts receiving less input than it expects. And when that happens, your brain does something very interesting. It tries to compensate. It increases its internal sensitivity to sound, almost like turning up the volume on a speaker. But instead of amplifying real sound, it begins to generate its own signals. And that is what you hear as ringing. So, the sound is not actually coming from your environment. It is being created inside your brain. This is why tinnitus can feel so constant and so frustrating, because you cannot escape it simply by changing your surroundings. Now, here is where things start to get important. Your daily habits can either calm this system down or make it more active, and most people are unknowingly making it worse. Let us talk about one of the biggest triggers: silence. It sounds strange, but complete silence can actually make tinnitus feel louder. When your environment is quiet, your brain has nothing else to focus on, so it becomes more aware of internal signals, including that ringing sound. This is why so many people notice their tinnitus is worse at night. Everything is quiet, your mind is not distracted, and suddenly the ringing becomes the center of attention. A simple way to reduce this effect is to introduce soft background noise. This could be white noise, nature sounds, or even a fan. You are not trying to drown out the ringing completely. You are simply giving your brain something else to process, and for many people this alone can make a noticeable difference. Now let us talk about another major factor that often gets ignored: stress. Your brain and your nervous system are closely connected. When you are stressed, your brain becomes more alert, more sensitive, more focused on potential problems. And unfortunately, tinnitus becomes one of those problems. The more you focus on the ringing, the more intense it feels. And the more intense it feels, the more you focus on it. This creates a cycle that can be very difficult to break. That is why managing stress is not just good for your overall health, it can directly affect how you experience tinnitus. Simple things like deep breathing, going for a walk, or taking time to relax can help calm your nervous system. And when your system is calmer, the ringing often feels less intrusive. Now, let us talk about something that many people overlook: sleep poor. Sleep can make tinnitus significantly worse. When you do not get enough rest, your brain becomes more reactive, more sensitive to discomfort, and less able to filter out unwanted signals. That includes the ringing in your ears. This is why improving your sleep habits can have a real impact. Going to bed at the same time each night, avoiding screens before sleep, and creating a calm environment can help your brain reset. Now, there is another piece of the puzzle that is becoming more and more important. And that is supporting your body from within your brain and your auditory system. Rely on proper nutrition and healthy circulation. When your body is lacking key nutrients, or when blood flow is not optimal, your system does not function as efficiently. This can make tinnitus symptoms more noticeable. That is why many people are starting to take a more complete approach. Instead of focusing on just one solution, they combine multiple strategies. They manage their environment, they reduce stress, they improve sleep, and they support their hearing from the inside. Now, I want to be clear about something. There is no instant fix for tinnitus. Anyone promising a quick cure is not being realistic. But that does not mean you cannot improve your situation. Because when you address the underlying factors, you give your body a better chance to adapt. And over time, many people notice that the ringing becomes less intense, less noticeable, and easier to live with. This is also why natural hearing support options have become more popular. Some people are exploring ways to support brain function circulation and auditory health through daily routines and supplements. And while results can vary from person to person, it is something that more and more people are looking into. If you are curious to learn more, I have included a link in the description where you can explore one of the options people are currently talking about. Take your time, look into it, and decide if it is something that makes sense for you. At the end of the day, the most important thing is that you do not ignore what your body is telling you. Tinnitus is not just something random. It is a signal that something in your system needs attention. And the sooner you start taking small steps, the better your chances of improving your experience. If this video helped you understand tinnitus in a new way, consider subscribing to the channel. I will be sharing more simple, practical, and honest information to help you support your hearing and improve your overall well-being. And if you are currently dealing with tinnitus, I would really like to hear from you. Leave a comment and share your experience. You are not alone in this, and there are ways to make it better. If you have been dealing with constant ringing in your ears, and you are thinking about trying something to help with tinnitus, you need to watch this first, because today I am going to break down one of the most talked about natural hearing support options right now. And more importantly, I am going to give you an honest, realistic perspective so you can decide if it is actually worth your time. Now, before we get into it, I want to make one thing very clear. This is not a magic cure. There is no supplement in the world that can instantly eliminate tinnitus overnight. And if anyone tells you that you should be very careful, but that does not mean there are no options that may help support your hearing and reduce the impact of tinnitus over time. So let us talk about what this type of product is actually designed to do. Most natural hearing support supplements are not targeting the symptom directly. They are designed to support the underlying systems involved in hearing. This includes brain function, blood flow, and nerve health. Because as we talked about before, tinnitus is not just about the ears. It is about how your brain processes sound. So the idea here is simple. If you support the system, you may reduce how intense the symptoms feel. Now, the product I looked into recently focuses on using natural ingredients that are commonly associated with brain support, relaxation, and circulation. Things like plant-based extracts, amino acids, and antioxidants. Again, this is not about forcing a result. It is about supporting your body so it can function more efficiently. Now, here is where most people make a mistake. They expect instant results. They try something for a few days, and if nothing changes, they give up. But that is not how this works. When you are dealing with something like tinnitus, you have to think long-term. Your system needs time to adjust, time to rebalance, and this is why consistency matters so much. From what I have seen, people who notice changes are usually the ones who combine multiple approaches. They improve their daily habits, they manage stress, they create a better sleep environment, and they support their system from within at the same time. Now, let us talk about expectations, because this is where honesty really matters. Not everyone will have the same experience. Some people may notice a reduction in how intense the ringing feels. Others may simply feel more relaxed and less bothered by it. And some people may not notice much at all. That is just the reality. Your body is different, your situation is different, and your results will reflect that. So, if you are considering trying something like this, the best approach is to be informed and realistic. Do not expect a miracle, but also do not assume nothing can help. Now, another important point is safety. Whenever you are considering any type of supplement, it is always a good idea to check the ingredients. Understand what you are putting into your body, and if you have any concerns, talk to a healthcare professional. That is always the safest approach. Now you might be wondering why so many people are starting to explore these options. And the answer is simple, because traditional solutions do not always address the full picture. Many people are looking for ways to support their overall system, not just mask the symptom, and that is why this approach has gained attention. Now, if you are curious about the specific option I mentioned earlier, I have included a link in the description where you can learn more about it. Take your time, go through the information, and decide if it aligns with what you are looking for. There is no pressure. This is about making an informed decision. At the end of the day, tinnitus is something that requires patience, understanding, and the right approach. The more you learn about it, the better equipped you are to manage it. If this video helped you get a clearer picture of how these products work and what to expect, consider subscribing to the channel. I will continue sharing honest insights, practical tips, and useful information to help you improve your hearing health. And if you have already tried something for tinnitus, I would really like to hear your experience. Leave a comment below and share what worked and what did not. Your experience might help someone else. Thank you for watching.